Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And today we are watching Dark Warrior, which aired September 28th. Dark Warrior aired September 28th.
That's 6 days after the last one.
Yes, it is.
Did it air out of order?
I think so. I think because Dark Warrior, because Foul Play in the Sky is aired 13th or 11th or something like that.
Okay.
It was weird. It gets wacky. I think after Green with Evil, it kind of evens out, but I'm not sure. So we'll just figure that out going forward. Okay, so we are gonna I'm not gonna do it because we just did it, even though they're not hearing this till a week later. But if you're new here, what we do is we pause the recording, we go watch an episode of Power Rangers, we come back, and then we talk about it for a length of time to be determined by how much stuff happens in the episode.
We aim for 45 minutes, but sometimes
we can't stop.
Just can't.
Sometimes we think the episode we're going to have nothing to say, and we can't stop talking about anything. We just keep talking, and I don't get it. But anyway, we're going to go watch The Dark Warrior. You should watch along with us. If you have Netflix or if you have it on DVD or some other way.
It's Morphin time. All right, guys, we're back. We just watched The Darkest of the Warriors.
We watched Evil Jim Hellwig.
His name is Warrior.
His name is Warrior now, I know. Okay, so before we get started, I forgot what we were doing. I got the yips. Before we get started,
we've done this literally
14 other times. I know. Our website is morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter @morphingrid. Yeah, and what Josh just gasped at that you might be able to hear is the next episode of Switching Places, which is my favorite episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I am hype. I've been hype since we started doing the Morphin Grid.
You got hype, and you
stayed so hype. But anyway, there's only going to be one episode this week because I am on vacation as of last Tuesday, and I don't get back until tomorrow afternoon from when you're hearing this episode. So we're recording a kind of a bunch, so you guys get one each week, and there's no big gap. And then in 2 weeks, we're doing all 5 Green with Evil every day. So Monday through Friday. So
your local listeners.
It's about 4:00 every day, give or take. So let's jump right into the episode. We start off in a science lab, and you know it's a science lab because there's a bunch of different colored liquids and a bunch of different beakers.
Yep.
But whose science lab is this?
Asian man.
Just an Asian guy. We don't know who it is yet. But he's made a formula that can turn things invisible. So that's going to have something to do with the story, right? Sort of.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So the invisibility formula, by the way, is high C Ecto cooler.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Just in a beaker.
Just in a big old... It's not even a beaker.
Well, it's in a beaker in the lab, but then later it's in a pickle jar.
It's in a pickle jar or a candle jar that they got all the candle stuff out of.
Oh, I forgot that was a drink.
Yeah.
You can't get that anymore.
You cannot.
Can you?
Someone has... I saw it on eBay recently. Unopened high C Ecto cooler for an exorbitant amount of money, and I was like, if I had some throwaway money, maybe put it on a shelf, be like, no one drink that, it's poison now, or it's evaporated over the years.
Just empty boxes.
It's so light. Is there anything in here? Anyway,
No,
so
there's
then
not.
we cut over to the juice bar where Jason is teaching a class, and Trini is sort of miming along with him.
She is. She's not in the class.
She's not in the class, but she's just getting some practice in, you know?
I need to say something. I don't know if I brought this up before. I don't remember. But I've been rewatching with Sesha. Have I talked about this?
Yes, I don't know how far you are, though.
Well, we watched the first episode again. I don't remember if I've talked about this on air.
You haven't. No, we haven't recorded since you started watching.
The headbands thing?
Are you going to ruin the headbands thing?
Yep. Jason was wearing a headband the whole time. Not just after Billy was.
But hold on, no, let's...
He's also wearing one in this episode. That's what just made me think of it.
Yes, but let's try to fix it then, okay? So...
Sure, I'll fix it.
So he's wearing a headband before Billy comes up to the...
He's wearing the headband when he's sparring with Zach in the first episode.
Because he's about to teach a class.
Yes.
Okay.
It's his teacher's crown.
And Billy is in that class.
Yeah.
So, because they knew each other before, maybe Billy was like, Jason, is this an appropriate outfit? And he's wearing a stupid headband. And Jason's like, yes, it is,
yes.
Billy. And so he got a headband and he put it on, and now he keeps it on.
So Billy knows he's always welcome.
Yes, exactly. There we go.
Which is good because he rejoins the class in this
He does
episode.
re-enroll. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, something very important happens. Okay, this is the return of Trini's really cute yellow sweater.
Oh, it's this sweater?
It's this sweater.
Okay.
This is my favorite sweater that she wears, and I hope she wears it all the time. Even though in California it's super hot all year.
She has shorts on with it though.
Yeah, and it's really,
like really light.
It's really
and
light. It's got like air.
loose.
Yeah, it's got like gaps between the yarns, the threads. Are they threads when they're that big? I don't know. Between the fabric.
They're threads.
They're
Yarns
threads.
are really thick.
But it's like a yarn sweater.
So it's yarn. I don't
But
know.
it's,
It's
like,
in
loose.
standard definition. How can I tell?
She's wearing an Afghan. But anyway, so yeah, that comes back this episode. I could not be more excited. Then we go over to Billy, who is asked to take the recycling out by Ernie, because as we established last episode, Billy has a part-time job there, sort of. It's sort of a if I ask you something, do it, and I give you guys free drinks.
Not because you're the Power Rangers.
No, he needs a cover story at the very least. He needs to be like, yeah, because you take out the recycling. Here's some free shakes, whatever. This is a spinach protein shake. I hope you like it.
Jason's like, yes.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Give me that, and he pounds it. So, Bulk and Skull are playing a video game, playing video games. Probably Galaga. I don't know what they were playing. Probably some Galaga knockoff.
There's only enough of the game cabinet in the shot to know that they're playing a video game.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the controls.
Yeah.
But Bulk, who is a World War I pilot right now, he's wearing a pilot's skull cap and a bomber jacket zipped all the way up. So he looks really snug in there. But he runs out of quarters, and he's like...
It must be like 75 degrees in California today.
Oh,
Between
at least
Trini
in the
wearing
juice
a
bar.
sweater and Bulk all bundled up.
But then he's like, oh, man, I'm out of quarters. I don't know.
He might have only had the one.
He just needed the one. And he was like, hey, Geekoid, give me quarters. And then I don't know why he's from Fitchburg now, but...
Nobody knows what
And
Fitchburg
Billy's
is.
like, no, I don't have any extra quarters because...
He says he doesn't have any that he can spare right
he
now.
can spare because he has quarters in him. So they flip him upside down and shake him out because they're jerks. And they toss him in recycling, but then...
Oh, this whole episode...
The return of Trillia Watch.
This is a Trilly episode.
Okay, so... Billy is getting... beat up, not really beat up, but like hassled aggressively by Bulk and Skull. They flipped him upside down. They're stealing his money. They put him in a recycling bin that Billy was taking out. I assume, unless it's just one sitting on the floor. And who comes up to like knock them out? Trini. She destroys it. She just like hits him once in the head.
She
or something.
like bonks him on the head.
And they,
something. I
and
don't
they
really remember.
leave until later. They're like, I'm not
with
dealing
the
with it.
cuckoo bird noises.
Yes.
So they're out. They're
she
out of
hit
it.
them hard enough to knock them unconscious because they were trifling with her man.
Be trifling.
I am so excited that Trilly Watch is back until it disappears again.
This episode is ripe with Trilly Watch.
Yes. So let's talk about some other things that happen in the Trilly Watch. There is, when she introduces her uncle later, she's like, and this is Billy, who I told you about.
Well, there's one before Billy takes the recycling. He's sitting at the juice bar, and it's after Trini was just kind of
Oh, keep going. I'm just checking.
Okay, it's after Trini was miming along with Jason. She runs up to the juice bar. She's like, "Hey, Billy," and like rubs him on the leg when she walks by.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Or maybe it's on the arm, but like she like touches him, like
right.
You know, more than just a "Hey, what's up?" slapping the arm.
Can you imagine that? What's up, Billy?
What's up?
Sup, brah? So then there's later when she introduced him to her uncle. She's like, "Hey, this is Billy, who
you've definitely heard about.
Who I definitely told you about." And then she's like, "Hey, you know my uncle, the famous scientist," to Billy, like, but it's in like a kind of a braggy way where she's like, "My uncle's famous scientist. That's cool, right?" Like, you know.
And Billy's like, "I don't even think science can cheer me up right now.
Scientific achievement can raise me." Way to be Billy, Billy. You keep on doing you.
And there's one at the end of the episode, but I'll save it.
Okay, yeah.
For the end.
So we're gonna pause Trilly Watch. We'll be back to it. But Billy is going to re-enroll in Jason's karate class because he is sick of getting picked on and made fun of, primarily by Bulk and Skull, but maybe by other people at school.
Also, I think
Judy and Tyrone, maybe. They're still at school. They didn't die. I mean, we just don't see them anymore.
Right. Maybe they just left. And Marge.
Yeah, good thing Marge is gone. She'd have ruined this episode.
I was going to say something and I lost it.
Because
Marge just ruined this whole episode.
So then we go up to Rita. Until you can think of it, I'm just going to keep going.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
So we go up to Rita, and she is watching Uncle Howard. Oh, we get his name. His name is Uncle Howard. Trini just said his name to Billy a second before this part happened. And so Rita is just watching Uncle Howard. Why? Why, Rita? Are the Power Rangers too boring for you? There's some exciting stuff going on down there.
You're related to Trini.
In my head.
Maybe she's looking for ways to like maybe if I can get a family member of Trini's dead, then she'll be distracted.
Killing a Ranger didn't work. Let me kill some Ranger family members, some Ranger adjacent people.
Because that's her goal in this episode. She's gonna. It's a little later, but she's gonna try to kill Uncle Howard.
But yes, and her plot is really weird. So anyway, she's yelling at Finster.
Yeah,
and she's
it's a movie villain plot.
Yeah, and she's like, Finster, give me the Dark Warrior. Or give me a monster. And he's like, I got the Dark Warrior. She's like, well, then where is he? And then I made the joke, I'm waiting for the footage to end.
And then there's one point where, like, he starts the machine, it cuts back to Rita, and she goes, yeah! And it cuts back to the machine.
Yeah, and so Dark Warrior pops out. His name is Dark Warrior. I'm not going to call him that, because that's a fine name,
Ooh,
whatever.
What are you going to call him? Because you said you had a good one.
I'm going to call him Jungle Combat Proto Man. Because he is a camouflage version of Proto Man. He's got a scarf.
I believe it's an ascot.
It's definitely a scarf later. It might be an ascot now, but it's flowing in the breeze later on.
Maybe it's a very decorative tie.
But I'm calling him Jungle Combat Proto Man because that's what he looks like to me.
That's a lot of syllables. I'm just going to call him Dark Warrior.
All right, well, that's fine. We're just different, that's all. So we cut back to the juice bar where Jason is teaching the class and Billy is now in it.
Yes.
And Billy is doing much better than last time.
Yeah, he can even turn 180 degrees.
Without panicking and quitting like a baby. Little baby. I can't turn him.
Hey, let's not... He's in this class because of bullying, Jake. You're being very...
I know. I'm being a bully. I'm being a bully, and I don't like that. So anyway, Jason, I wrote headband because I was going to talk about it, but we already got to it.
Right.
Jason's wearing the headband again, but he was before in the episode. So maybe now it's just like...
He likes it.
He's like, I think I look cool with a headband.
It keeps the sweat out of his eyes.
It does. It's functional, and it's cool.
And it's fashionable.
So then... the class is over and they go over to talk to Trini and Zach and Kimberly, and Trini's like, okay, my Uncle Howard's coming in, famous scientist or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's awesome, and she's like, yeah, he's also a martial artist, and Billy's like, oh, he's a martial artist too, that'd be a great person to learn from, and before that, Jason's like, oh, you mean the martial artist? And they're like,
guy's a legend.
You know who that is? Like, he's a living legend. I like that Jason is super into karate to where he knows martial artists'
Stop
names.
you for a minute, because you know who else is super into karate?
Zach. With his pants that just say karate on them. I wrote down Zach's karate pants.
Karate
They're not
pants.
pants for karate. They're pants that say karate.
I mean, they might be karate
And
pants.
if Redbubble had a pants option, you best believe these pants would be up on Josh's by now.
Yes.
Is there a pants option?
No.
There is. Just shirts. Redbubble. Let me email you. We gotta talk. We need a pants option.
I can make a karate shirt. It's not the same.
It's not, but look for that. There'll be a link. If that'll
Okay.
be up by then. You'll have to get a screenshot so you can do the same font and everything. But
Right.
But anyway, I love those karate pants. I wish he wore them all the time. So Howard comes in. He's got his jar of Ecto Cooler, and he's like super responsive to Billy because Trini's like we said earlier, like, oh, and here's Billy. Remember I told you about Billy? Billy, a scientist. He's like, science is Billy, And so he first he walks in, puts the Ecto Cooler down on the.
It's an invisibility formula.
His invisibility formula, aka High C Ecto Cooler. He puts it down on the table, the bar.
On the juice bar.
And he walks away. And Ernie just grabs it, goes, I don't know what this is, and instinctively starts cleaning it. Don't know what this is. There we go. Got the fingerprints off. So Howard's super receptive to like teaching Billy because he just like is like, yeah, whatever, Trini, I'm gonna take Billy now, and then he just walks away.
How is it that the jar is visible?
It only works on organic matter,
Perfect. I'll take it.
and we have to assume
But
that everything Howard is wearing is 100% cotton.
when he dumped it on the cactus,
The vase was
potter-
terracotta.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
I think it was. All right.
Only works on organic material.
Sure.
That doesn't make sense because glass is basically the same thing as terracotta. It's just sand instead of clay. Okay, all right. Let's try to figure it out. The glass, it has to be applied to.
We're only gonna dedicate about 3 minutes to this.
Okay, the formula has to be applied to living material first, and then whatever it is touching gets caught in the crossfire. I don't know. Does that work?
It's a plot hole.
It's an invisibility formula.
Maybe it's because you can already see through glass.
Right. It can't make something that's
Yeah.
transparent less visible.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just doesn't work on glass.
He designed it to
Maybe
not
he
work on
put
glass
a-
because he needed to put it in
there's a-
something and be able to find
And
it.
be able to know where that is. Why isn't the formula itself invisible? For the same reason.
Right.
Because he made it so it won't go invisible, so he can find
Okay.
it.
All right. Good. We did that in about a minute.
Good.
Moving on.
Moving on. My notes closed in the time it took me to try to figure out how that formula works. So, Goldar, Squat, and Babu teleport into Uncle Howard's lab. And there is just a big vase. I don't know why I said it like that.
It's a vase.
It's a vase that just has a cork in it and says, do not touch.
Does it even say that on it?
It does.
Okay.
There's a sign, but it's facing us, not
Oh, okay.
them, which is why they didn't see it. But they
Right.
assume this is the invisibility formula, and then Goldar goes, check this.
Right. Make sure it's right.
So I assume he was thinking, pour a little bit on you.
Or on something.
Or on something, so it turns it invisible. What ends up happening is they just drink this mysterious liquid and get sick immediately. But this is where his beaker set was. His whole chemistry set was right here. So he moved that just to put a jar that said "Do not touch" on it. Uncle Howard is the professor from Flubber. He's super
Yeah.
absent-minded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like 100%, he is Robin Williams from Flubber.
Well, yeah, because he puts that jar down on the juice
Forgets
bar.
it for the rest of the episode.
Well, like he didn't forget it immediately because he saw Trini and Billy and he was like, "Oh, guys," and then he like turned to get it, but somebody walked by and bumped him and it spun him around
and
then
totally
he just-
forgot about it.
It was gone after
It was
that.
gone. They knocked the information out of his head. It's just so full. As we've determined before, scientists are really busy thinking about stuff to remember things.
Yeah.
So
Right. That's why I forget so much.
that's exactly it. So then we go to the park. I assume it's Angel Grove Park. It might be the park.
Could be.
Not sure which one. They never say.
I don't really
But
remember what's around it. So.
trees. some rocks.
Oh, it could be any part.
Could be anywhere. But Uncle Howard's teaching Billy how to fight, by equating it to science, which I like. He's like, you gotta. I don't know if he says anything, but I assume that's what it was.
You gotta spin on the fulcrum or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's just like this science principle, karate. Like
right,
I think that's just how the training is going, which is why Uncle Howard is kind of the perfect teacher for Billy.
It's why Billy's actually able to learn in this episode.
It's a darn shame we're never gonna see him again. But who knows?
Well, I'll talk about that again later too, because that's another end of the episode.
Right? Yes. Yeah. So then we cut back to the juice bar, I believe, where Kimberly is doing some homework, maybe. But we're gonna jump into our second segment, which is what was Kimberly wearing this episode? Because guys, this is a good episode. This is a good Kimberly episode. She's wearing a flannel vest dress. Button-up vest dress. It's not a dress in the strictest sense, but it's really long.
It's like a really large shirt.
It goes below her shorts, which are bright pink. She's wearing a bright pink tank top and the piece de resistance, pink chucks, which
they're low top chucks.
They are low tops, but they're still chucks.
Yeah.
So we could hang. We could hang out.
That way, she's got her cute little socks sticking out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. That's the whole thing. I got nothing else to say. I'm really waiting for the day she starts wearing jean dresses. That's super excited about those.
Well, eventually.
Eventually. I know it happens. I have very vivid memories of her in jean dresses. But anyway, there are balloons delivered to the juice bar because
black balloons.
Because Putty's
dark
attack
balloons,
dark balloons,
if you will.
Jungle combat balloons. Oh, I will. So before then, we skipped over it because I got so excited about Kimberly's, outfit. That Uncle Howard gets stolen by Putties, and I say stolen, not kidnapped, because they lift him up like an object and just take him away while Billy watches.
Billy was fighting. There was two Putties fighting Billy, and he was fighting them by standing at them.
Yes, and
then they walk by him after they take.
And he lets him go. He doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, he just lets him walk, and he's like, "Hey!" And then they disappear.
So Howard is stolen, and balloons are delivered. And in these balloons, because they all pop very violently, is some glitter and
very dark glitter.
Dark glitter. It's like red.
It's like red.
It's like red pink glitter, and then a note saying, "Hey, we got Uncle Howard.
Give us the formula.
We need that formula." And they don't explain why she wants that formula.
Oh, because it's invisibility formula.
Right, but later on they do explain it, and it's a different reason than it should be, because it doesn't make any sense. But I'll get there when we get there. So then they are teleported to the command center, where the viewing globe is displaying what Uncle Howard was doing at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, when they took Uncle Howard, they took him to a cave.
Yes, they took him to a cave, strapped him to 55-gallon drums full of oil.
And there's boxes of dynamite.
And dynamite.
There's an hour on the clock.
Yes.
Fade to commercial. Fade back. There's 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Jungle Combat Proto Man says you have an hour before you and the whole cave disappear from the face of the earth. Because there's so much dynamite. Way too much dynamite.
It's going to blow the whole thing into space.
They're going to land on Club Bandora. It's going to be a new section of Club Bandora called Uncle Howard's Cave. I don't know. But anyway,
Uncle Howard's discotheque.
Yes. So then we go back. So in the command center, Zordon's like, here's what Uncle Howard was doing at the beginning of the episode. So like the viewing globe was also in DVR, and he was also watching Uncle Howard before the Power Rangers even introduced him.
He's a living legend, Jake. He's a world-famous scientist and a living legend martial artist.
You're right. Maybe he's just got so many channels that
he's a former Power Ranger. He's not.
Oh, what if he's like Mask Man Yellow?
See?
That could be cool.
Because he's wearing a yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Because he's related to Trini.
Related to Trini. And he got so many yellow shirts when he was Mask Man Yellow that now he's just going to keep wearing it. Why is he going to throw them away? Because he's not a Power Ranger anymore. Anyway, so... oh man, this is when it comes up. So Rita says out loud, for some reason, I don't remember what the context is, but she says, I think it's on the viewing globe even, but like her plan is for her to get the formula to make the Rangers disappear forever. But she says it in a way that like you will die from this formula.
But it only makes
But it only makes you invisible. Invisible Power Rangers would be such a hassle for her.
Terrible for her.
Oh, now you're invisible. Like, yeah, we're in your base. And we're going to kill you in here while you're sleeping.
The Power Rangers wouldn't kill.
Maybe Rita.
I don't think they would kill. They just put her back in a space.
They kill monsters all the time.
That's different. They're made out of clay.
Madam Woe's not made out of clay.
No, you're right.
Inconsistent rules, sort of. Whatever.
Zordon never tells them not to kill anybody.
That's true. It's not one of the rules. Don't reveal your secrets. Don't escalate a battle. But if you're already there and you got to kill her, do what you got to do. I guess. I don't know. Maybe they will. I don't think they would kill Rita. But you never know. They're invisible.
Get up in her face and just be like, "Stop it!
Stop it now!
Stop!" You cut to her going, "Nah, stop it!"
We don't like it. Cut it out. Anyway, so they're
cut to frowny face Babu.
So then we go back to the Rangers who are teleported to near the cave, where they are fighting putties, and Billy has leveled up over the course of this afternoon.
He's even surprised that his arms are doing what they're doing.
Yeah, because he hits one and he's like, "What did I just do?"
This is what fighting is. You guys,
I figured it out. I just had to have Uncle Howard tell me. There's a lot of cool fights. It's, Trini being super decisive by kicking one's head off.
I noticed during this fight scene that, like, everyone has kind of their own battle music, especially Zach.
Zach's is his, like, bam, 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 bam,
but it cut to Kimberly, and there was, like, a weird circus theme for, like, a hot second.
You're right. She does a really cool scorpion kick. She does, like, a handstand and then kicks Putty on the top of its head.
Stomps on his shoulders.
That's
was neat.
Neat.
Gymnastics, you guys.
Gymnastics, man. So then they beat the Putties and they run to the cave where Uncle Howard is tied to the bombs and the oil drums and whatever.
There's like 20 seconds left.
I think they have like under 20. There's like 18 or something. And so they're like, "Billy, can you disarm me?" He's like, "I think so." And Howard's like, "Use what you learned in karate to focus your mental energy." And Billy gives him this look like, "Okay."
He's like, "Yeah, oh yeah."
He's like, "Or I'll just use some science," and he pulls the right one.
Literally the one on the right.
Yeah, the one on the right, and the bomb is disarmed with 4.1 seconds to go, and they untie Howard. He walks away.
They untie him. He's like, "Thanks for saving me," and then he's like, "Where did I put that formula?" and just wanders off. And Trini has this look on her face like, "Oh, Uncle Howard."
But then immediately, business face. She's shooting to kill. She's like, "Now that my uncle is safe, let's go murder Jungle Combat Proto Man."
Dark Warrior.
They are not happy.
He has a matching belt.
Yes,
that matches his scarf.
It's this teal scarf belt combo.
Very fashionable.
It's exactly what Proto Man would wear if he was in the jungle.
He's all camouflage except for his bright blue scarf and belt.
The two things giving him away entirely. So then we do a Dark Warrior fight. It's your standard Power Rangers fight. They fight him a little bit. Rita makes him grow. They get the Megazords, but
right. Because Trini's like, "We're gonna beat you," and Rita's like, "Oh yeah, now he's giant."
Make him grow, because that's always worked. So they're in the Megazords, but they're just the Zords. They're in their Zords.
Yeah.
Right, and they're just charging at Dark Warrior, who shoots a cannon out of his hand at them, and they go, "Well, that didn't work. Let's just get into tank mode," which I like because it looks they were gonna try regular Zords,
right,
and that didn't work. So they're like, "Well, let's go on to tank mode. Let's try something else." That didn't work. It didn't fail, but it didn't work. And they're like, let's show them what Megazord can do, and then Megazord sequence.
Initiated.
Initiates, and then Josh and I got into that's a terrible noise. Josh and I got into a little bit of a screaming about why I say activate initiated.
Turns out it's to annoy me now.
But ever since I was 4 years old, that's how I heard it, and like that's just built into me.
But you don't need to talk over it every time.
I don't.
Because now I can't enjoy it Because you talk over
can't
it.
enjoy Megazord sequence.
Has been
I don't even know what
initiated.
it is.
Because you talk over it.
That's a thing you gain enjoyment out of?
You ruined
is that
Megazord sequence
sentence?
for me.
Someday there'll be Titanus.
It's the
You'll
only
get 40
good
minutes.
Megazord sequence. And all the other Power Rangers, it's just a Megazord now.
No, not in Turbo.
Oh, that doesn't count.
It totally counts. It's the best part of Turbo.
No, you're right. Well, it's not, and there's a sequence in Megaforce too.
Yeah, Megaforce, they at least use their Zords as a...
Megaforce is a really weird one, because Jake really wants to be with Gia.
Yeah.
In like a romantic relationship.
He wants to kiss her and go for ice cream. Without anybody else.
So the Black Snake Sword linking into the Yellow Sword
you're pushing it.
is a little weird.
It's a little
the
bit.
first time it happens, because I think they have some kind of dialogue when it happens. That's a little weird. I'd have to watch it again to remember for sure.
You should watch the rest of it first.
I should. Yeah, I should. But I just remember going, that's odd.
That's the thing that happened. So yeah, but they actually fight in their Megazords, or in their Zords by themselves.
Well, yeah, because it's all CG in that one.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
At least the Megazord is not CG.
Right. It's still a guy in a cardboard box.
I think that's always going to need to be the case. As long as it's a guy in a rubber suit or some cardboard boxes, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
This one's got interlocking things. It gets a little busy,
they
but
have like 100 Zords,
which you'd think I'd like, but I don't, because they're not Zords proper. They're just like
they're attachments.
They're add-ons. They're like, here's an accessory for your Zord. Anyway, we'll talk about Megaforce in 12 years. So, so they come together. There's, they beat him via Mega Sword or Power Sword, but they called it the Mega Sword for like 2 or 3 episodes, and they should have just kept calling it that, because now it's the Power Sword, which is Jason's sword.
Should be the Mega Power Sword.
Mega Power Sword, something. Just not the Power Sword, because that's already a thing. Guys, come on. It's the Dino Daggers all over again. Or the Mighty Mace.
It's a lance.
It's a lance, not even a mace. You ever seen a mace in
At
your
most,
life?
it's a trident.
Yeah, with a double-sided trident. Anyway, back on track. So they kill Jungle Combat Proto Man, and there's like a 2, I swear to God, 2-3 seconds tops shot of Rita just bonking squatting Babu on the head with her staff, just to show her displeasure, because we don't have time.
Well, no, there was a scene like that earlier.
Earlier when they came back and they were
she's
sick.
like, I told you not to drink an unmarked potion.
But after, because it happens all the time.
How many times have I told you not to drink an unmarked potion?
They're just dumb. They're dumb guys. They're like, oh, I'm a monster. I'm going to drink that potion. Let's see what happens. And then they get sick. And she's like, oh, now I got to deal with you being sick, because they probably get man colds. They seem like the kind of guys that get man colds.
Probably.
And they already screw everything up as is. And when they're sick, it's going to be terrible. But anyway, yeah, there's like a 2-second shot of just a continuation of that scene going, God, the Power Ranger's done. Just to show that she's not happy. And then we go back to the juice bar where Uncle Howard is looking for his Ecto Cooler because he still hasn't found it. And then Billy is...
Right, he's not looking for it. He's sitting at the juice bar drinking a milkshake.
Going, oh, what have I done?
Where did I put it?
So then Jason and Billy are sparring, and then Jason, like, Billy's getting, like, you know, pretty good, but then Jason just, like, throws a move 1 level higher than him on him, and he's like, that's for next class. I just can't let you...
They're not sparring. I think Billy this is like his finals.
He's taking a test, yeah. Okay.
Not his finals, because it's only for a yellow belt.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a yellow belt now.
Yeah.
Which is another little Trilly Watch thing, is now he's a yellow belt. It's not like a Trilly Watch in
that's not,
but
the other Rangers run over to congratulate him, and Kimberly runs up, pats him on the shoulder. Zach's like, yeah, man, you did it. And Trini hugs him.
Yeah. Yeah, why?
Trini just, bam!
Because she realized how much
Marge
she missed
is gone,
him
so she's like, yes!
Back in.
Mine again.
So then...
That was the end of Trilly
Some
Watch.
Bulk and Skull show up, and they're in their gear from the first episode where they took the karate class, because they also enrolled with Billy. And then they say something really weird, like, "You too good for us now?" What's that mean? You beat him up all the time. He doesn't like you. Why would he... What are you talking about? But then they start, like, pushing him around, and Zach goes to murk Bulk. Zach is had
he had murder on his face.
Yes, he has had it. Jason's like, whoa, man, don't kill these guys. Billy's got this, but Billy didn't have it. And they just watched him get beat up until Uncle Howard drinks some Ecto Cooler and then beats up teenagers while he's invisible.
Yes, so let's talk about the invisibility Ecto Cooler.
Yes.
We're
good. We're totally good.
So it's introduced at the beginning of the episode to set up a joke where he spills it accidentally on a cactus and it disappears.
And he touches the cactus and ouch.
He goes, "Where's my plant?" Oh!
Touches the cactus, oh no.
Laughs are had by all. I guess it gives Rita, like, a reason to attack because she wants it a little bit.
Right, if the idea was, if I have that potion, I can make my monsters that can't go invisible by themselves invisible.
Right, I was thinking, like, I'll make the Dark Warrior invisible.
Yeah, make Goldar invisible, because he doesn't die.
Goldar would be lethal.
Goldar's the only effective monster she has.
But really, it only exists to set up the joke at the end of the episode where Uncle Howard, who I have to actively not call Uncle Phil, because Uncle Phil is just one unit of word in my head.
Right.
Not that he looks like him.
No.
It's just what wants to come out. It's the invisibility Ecto Cooler only exists to set up this joke at the end of the episode. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of a long way to go to have Uncle Howard beat up minors, but getting off scot-free because he's invisible. But I mean, the plot does kind of run through. I think the thing this one suffers for is it's not like the last episode where everything was like pretty focused. Is that they keep forgetting what they want the invisibility potion to do. Like, it's a MacGuffin, but they forget why it's a MacGuffin from scene to scene, so they keep giving you new answers for it. Like, it goes invisible, but it'll make Power Rangers disappear forever. But now it's just an invisibility potion again, you know, and like it sets up the joke where Bulk or Squat and Babu get sick because they drink the wrong potion. Like, it's got a lot of functions, but they're not all the same one, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, it's Power Rangers. What are you going to do?
It's
it
fine.
was funny because an old man beat up some kids. I guess that's funny.
And they presumably thought Billy just beat them up with his mind.
With his mind, yeah. So they should never mess with him again because he has superpowers. But anyway, so now...
Almost like a superhero. Or a Power Ranger.
Power Ranger. Ooh. Anyway, so the episode's over. Any final thoughts on the Dark Warrior?
I don't like his stupid scarf. That's about it.
I really like the design of him, but like that scarf, that's
the monster is fine.
The scarf is why I call him Jungle Combat Proto Man.
I wish he was a little bit more of a threat, because he seems like he would be a monster that would almost beat them.
I bet the ZU Ranger footage is him being much more effective.
Yeah.
Than
because he's got like a katana.
He's got like that, like I forget what it's called. I know what it's called, but I can't bring the name up.
Oh, it's a weight on a chain?
It's a weight on a chain, but the other side is a sickle on a chain. And the weight counterweights the sickle. And it's not a comma. I don't know what it's called. It's on a glaive. When the new Ninja Turtle show started coming out, when they were putting the toys out before the show came out.
Yeah. The Casey Jones action figure's out now from the new...
I need to just catch up on that
I want to buy them all because I want to play with them.
Yes. That's how you know you got a good toy on your hands. Which, speaking of, let's bring this back to Power Rangers for a second.
Sure.
I saw an article the other day on the Power Ranger toys, the flippy head ones.
Yep.
The Pink Ranger and Yellow Ranger were exactly the same body shape, which is to say...
A man.
A man. But they were marketed to all children. You know, like, because they're by doing that, they're not saying like, oh, here's the girl, here's the two Barbie versions, you know, which I'll get to, but they were like, these are flippy head monsters. Boys can play with them, girls can play with them, anyone can play with them.
They weren't monsters; they were Rangers.
I meant to say Power Rangers, but I said monsters on accident because I'm excited about talking about toys. But like, I really like that like back in 1993, Saban and Bandai had like the presence of mind to go, hey, you know who likes toys? Every children does. I don't know why I said children twice. I tried to correct myself and screwed up again. All children, kids like toys. We don't need to make boy or girl specific toys.
Right.
But this is when like something weird happened. Not really weird, but dumb. Parents of the girls who were buying the Power Ranger toys didn't like that there weren't girl Power Ranger toys. So then Bondi put out like a Trini and Kimberly sort of Barbie.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, that's you going like, no, this is a toy for boys. We don't like it. Even though, like, the girls were like, no, look, their heads flip. It's awesome.
Right. The little girls are like, this is great.
Yeah.
Flipping heads all day.
Yeah, I have my two favorite ones.
Yeah.
You know, unless if you're a girl and your favorite's Jason, it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Kimberly's basically been my favorite. But, like, I don't know. I wish toys could still be like that. I wish, like, someone nowadays would be like, no, toys are for everyone. Whatever. But instead, also my cousin, she's like a 15th cousin. I don't know what it is. My cousin Crystal had the two Power Ranger Barbies.
Yeah.
And I was mad that there weren't like the boys that size too.
Right.
So that we could play with larger Power Rangers. Anyway, I don't know why that story just popped up in my head, but yeah.
Because we were talking about Ninja Turtles toys.
Yes. Casey Joe, I gotta check that out today at work. So
I mean, he's a teenager because that's the theme of the new series.
They're hitting the teenage part.
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah.
He's really cool, though. His hockey mask is, like, skull painted.
I like that.
Oh, he's really cool.
I'm gonna look at it when
I want to get all of them because I want him and Metalhead to be best friends instead of him and Raph.
I'd watch that show. I'd watch the heck out of that show. All right, anyway, so I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, we're good. We're talking about toys. So
we're talking about toys, so I think we're done with the Power Ranger episode. In conclusion, you can find us online. Our website is morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, and you can tweet with or at us, your choice, at morphingrid on Twitter. Also, if you want to leave a review on iTunes, we didn't mention it last episode, and it came up.
No, I was gonna, and I didn't.
It came up like 3 weeks before you're hearing this, right after we recorded our last batch of episodes. But someone gave us a 5-star review.
Right. So just tell us what you really think. So I'm done pandering to you.
He's done being a baby about it. So thank you very much, Seiki3.
I'm gonna say Seiki.
Seiki, that's how it looks to me. Maybe it's Saki. I don't
think it's Saki.
Who knows? Anyway, thank you very much for leaving a 5-star review. You were very kind.
Yes.
We wicked appreciate it. It's nice to know that people listen, like, to the show. That's what I like.
Yeah.
It's humbling because we're not just speaking into a void, and I like that. So thank you for listening, everybody. And until next time, may the power protect you. Then we cut over to the juice bar, the Juventud Guerrero bar.
That's getting cut.